Okay, so I just want to make it clear for myself that, and anyone else out there that's wondering why I'm doing these videos. I'm doing these videos for self-reflection. In no way possible or shape or form am I doing this for viralness, confirmation, or attention. Because honestly, I don't give a shit about that. This is simply to reflect on things that are in my brain, that stay in my brain, and it's hard for me to speak it out loud. And people probably think, well, why even upload it? Just keep it in your phone, or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I do want to do that, and I do have it on YouTube, but I feel like maybe this could reach someone else, or someone else see it and they feel encouraged to tell their truth, tell their story. Because I think the wave now is everyone's talking about anxiety and depression and mental illness, but no one is really showing you, and no one's really telling you what this is and what comes with it. And I'm the example. You're not pretty, you're not put together, you're not conscious of things, and you really don't give a shit about anything. That's where I'm at. Yeah, so if you see me pause, it's because I'm trying not to cry. And so, with that being said, this is because I could put on makeup and do my hair and stuff like that, but that's a mask. That's a mask. And what am I putting a mask on for? I'm not happy. I don't want to. Yeah, so I'm trying to say things without being overwhelmed with emotion so that I can articulate these stream of thoughts, the stream of consciousness, without taking up too much time on the phone. So, with me doing these phone therapies, is what I call it, I can rewatch these videos and get something out of it, or just hear myself and put a checkpoint of where I'm at, because I've always written things. I'm a writer. If it was to be on my tombstone or my eulogy, Tyra is a writer. She can write her ass off. I can write anything. I've been that way since I was a little kid. But it's hard for me to write the way my mind goes so fast now. So it's easier for me to type things, but now it's like I don't want to see the words. I want to hear what my depression sounds like. I want to hear what the unhappiness and the suicidal sounds like. Because if you go on Instagram or YouTube or the internet and you hear these influencers talk about their anxiety and depression, it's in a package. It's in a pretty package, and that's not the truth. That's not what that is. I know there's stages, and there's people who can cope, and there's functioning depressed people. I am just not one of those people. I'm not trying to be an advocate. I'm not trying to be something. I'm just here. And when I'm gone, this will be a milestone of what it was to be this thing. I think it's more like far gone than just depressed. Yeah. So, with that being said, because from where I come from, we have to be put together. We have to have an image, and you have to look a certain way. And you can't go out the house looking this way, and you can't go around people looking this way and acting this way. You have to have structure. And of course, it's like when I go out, yeah, put your hair back, look appropriate. I understand that's society. That's the way everyone's brought up. But that's also one of the things that plague me is caring about. Now, on one hand, it's like I don't care what people think, and then on the other hand, it's like I care so much about what they think that I think they're thinking about me, and they're not. They're not thinking about me. And it plagues me so bad, and that's where the anxiety comes from. So I'm going to tell you what happened on Saturday. Me and my mom was on the mega bus going to New York to visit our cousin. And it was a lady sitting in front of me, and then she switched seats with another guy. And this guy sat down. Now, I think for probably a half an hour, I was in my own world until I happened to look over the seat, and I saw his head, and he had dandruff. And this wasn't no tiny dandruff. These were big flakes, and you could tell this dude had dandruff in his hair. And it freaked me the fuck out. I don't think I'm a germaphobe because I don't really, all right, on one hand, I'm a germaphobe, but the world has made me that way because there's so many germs out there and people are so nasty. So I'm thinking, this dude moved his head the wrong way. All the dandruff is going to fly on me. And that freaked me out. And in my brain, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world now. And so I tell my mom this, who's sitting on the other side of me, and she's like annoyed with me. And I'm like, this is a minuscule thing. This is not the end of the world. And so I can understand her being annoyed with me. So I'm like, okay, you have to let it go. But my brain just was like, he's going to shake his head and the snowbank is going to fall on you, on your lip, on your mouth, and you're going to die. Like, it went that extreme. And then I'm thinking, you have to scale it back. You have to bring it back. You have nowhere to go. You're stuck on a bus for another hour and a half. There's nowhere for you to go. And that right there made me lose it. But I've been, I don't want to say trained because I'm not a dog, but my mom and my dad, and then my Aunt Lil, they brought me up in a certain way where you have to be composed. Keep your composure in public places. I think a lot of people deal with that, they're brought up that way, they're raised that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because, there's society standards. Cool. That was scary. But in that moment, I felt like a slight bit of insanity, and I felt like I was about to flip the bus over. I was about to freak the fuck out. But instead, I just bottled it in, and I had an umbrella, and I'm squeezing onto this umbrella like, please, Tyra, just breathe. Just breathe. It's not that big of a deal. So I closed my eyes. I think I had on these sunglasses. I don't know if I had on this my brother's scarf, but so I closed my eyes, and I'm like, breathe. Listen to the outside noise. Curl your feet up. Feel your shoes. Feel your presence in the moment, because when you're having a panic attack, it feels like everything is piling down on you, like you're getting buried alive, and like you're losing yourself. It's almost like you're floating away, but not a good float. It's like uncontrollable floating. And I'm like, I have to get it together. I have to put it together. So I started crying, and I'm like, I have to get out of this because I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go. But that was, an awareness moment for me. I'm like, okay, and it just showed me that I'm slipping more than I should be.